So, hello, good evening. This is Charles Van Morgan, YouTube Live. So, I'm out here in this hot weather. Of course, I got me something to drink, knocking on doors for you, trying to win the city council race. No one works harder than I do. I won't show you the numbers of the houses. They want to invade people's property. No one works harder than I do, or no one will work harder when I'm on the city council. So, we put one on this door here. Hello, I'm Charles Van Morgan. I'm running for Knoxville City Council, so I'll let you a leaflet on the door there if that's okay.
Okay, thank you.
Do you have any concerns about the city government off the top of your head you can think of? Or?
Not really.
All right. Okay. Promising to listen to people here in South Knoxville as opposed to the parties that are, and I'm not recording you, as opposed to the parties that are trying to buy the election. So friends calling friends if you like to campaign, and we can beat all their big money, and I'll listen to what you got to say and give us a seat on the board, okay?
All right, well, I'll Google you and
God bless you. Thank you very much. So that's my little spin. Let's see. A little spin back to the truth, because they lie about stuff. They're out here. They have, I'm doing this myself, you can see. All sweaty. It's very hot, but they've got Black Lives Matter out campaigning for them. And Amanda Parker, that's the founding member of Black Lives Matter in the city of Knoxville, is out. Got her group, Black Lives Matter, volunteers out knocking on doors for an opponent that's running against me. And the opponent running against me is already works in government. So let me get this other door here. I'm doing this. So you see flyer on board. So doing this myself, and I have other volunteers that have offered, but right now I don't want to get them out here in this heat because I care about people. But we're going to step it up a little bit more and probably get some volunteers out when it's better weather. And I've got some signs coming next week. So the other lady that's running against me, that Black Lives Matter, is out here knocking on your door. If the candidate doesn't knock on your door, it's either for the Black Lives Matter, one of their members is knocking on your door, from Amanda Parker, that's endorsing the candidate that already works for the government. And I'll say a little bit about that in a minute. And then, or the other candidate, which is well funded by a party that's trying to buy the campaign, paid volunteers probably. So hold on just a second. So we're allowed from 9 a.m. to 9 p.m. to walk up to the door, knock on the door, and leave a pamphlet unless they object. So another party's doing that, but we're just doing it more than what they are. The other lady that the Black Lives Matter is campaigning for works for the government, Department of Human Services. You know, one of the people that take your children away. Now, there's a time and place for that, but she's under the Christian governor, which is great to be Christian, but if you live by his particular Christian rules, then they might not take your children away. He's not a good man. He's got somebody that's stolen valor that's high up in the highway patrol. Hold on just a second here. We'll get this door. So, yeah, so members of his agent that he promoted to an executive position is stolen valor, Stacey Heatherly. She alleges that she retired from the 11th 75th Division. I think it's the 287th Army National Guard. She never served one day. And she got a speaking engagement with that and may have got promoted. I don't know. But I reported it to the Highway Patrol and they haven't answered me. But this same lady that's running against me works for the governor. Works in the government. So, and she's not allowed to speak out against the government. So, here you go. There's my little. So, because they have orders, and while they work for the government, they're not supposed to. They can't speak freely if they're a government employee. Legally, they can't speak freely. They don't have First Amendment rights like you and I do because they're subject to the government employment, which means that if the government don't want them to say something, they're not allowed to. See if I can figure out how to get this gate open. Well, I'll just put one here on the fence. So yeah. So if you can hear me, she's not allowed if the government wants something done. Instead of what you want done, then the other lady that works for the government is not allowed to say that because they can take her job from her. So she doesn't have First Amendment rights as a government employee like you and me do. She has to obey the government rules, the Department of Children's Services, and she has to obey the governor, who is a crooked governor. He just said he was Christian to get elected. He signed some bills that are anti-Christian, and he is about money. So hold on here. So we're going a little bit faster than we usually are. Hello, I'm Charles Van Morgan. I'm running for city council, the district that represents this area. I'm recording me. I'm not recording you, but I'll turn it off. But do you have any concerns about the city government in this area you want to talk about that you don't want to tell me? They don't know where you're at. I'm just recording myself.
You okay? You want to sit?
Sure, yeah, I'll sit down. You want me to turn this off?
You want to come inside?
Oh, I'm good out here. I don't want to invade your privacy. You want me to turn this off?
I don't care what you
I
do.
won't record you, but I'll leave it on. On as long as you want to talk to me, that's a good thing. So I try to talk to as many people as I can. So what are your concerns, good or bad, about Knoxville City?
First of all, I appreciate what you're doing.
Oh, thank you for that. See, there's nice people here.
Yeah.
God bless you for that.
Yeah, I don't know that I have concerns beyond the fact that I'm just proud that you're doing it. Like I think probably we need to say more nice things to more people. And
Okay.
if I was going to say anything about, and I know nothing about local politics at all.
Okay.
Except that it seems like it's a microcosm of all politics. It's either way over here or way over here.
Right.
And
I agree with you.
somewhere when there's people involved, it's got to be the middle.
Yeah.
Right? When it's groups, it's easy to put a whole group of people. These people are doing terrible things, and we need to get rid of them. And that's it's never good. It's got to be about individuals. So
I'll take that to heart.
yeah, I don't know what to tell you. I will tell you that I feel blessed that I live in South Knoxville, and I love my neighborhood. I love a lot of things that are going around here. Gosh, the only thing that really bothers me is the development coming out Chapman Highway. If we don't fix Chapman Highway, between Stone and the first red light down there coming into Home Depot and ORNL and all that,
Right.
all that.
Johnsonville out there, yeah.
in a former life, I was a planner
Uh-huh.
and a landscape architect and architect, and
Yeah.
I worked for a traffic engineer company for a while,
Mhm.
and I don't know except enough to be dumb,
Mhm.
but I don't know where you live, but I know.
Over off June Street in South Knoxville. Yeah, just a little
So
away from here.
so right here between Redbud and Colonial, the red light,
Mhm.
there's crashes there
Mhm.
once or twice a week, and not little crashes, big crashes, because people come over the hill. All that the traffic needs to be figured out.
I'm sorry to hear that. That's
Well, I
the
mean,
truth.
you asked what my thing
Right.
was.
No,
and
I'm
so,
glad you're telling me. No, that needs to be
yeah,
dealt with
but
immediately.
I mean, look, when, any other city in the world, when you come over the hill like you do in Chapman, going into town where Stone is,
yeah.
there's a flashing light when that light's red. You have a flashing light coming instead of just a sign that says there's a red light. Because when you come over that hill, if you're going 50
Yeah.
and 3 or 4 cars are stopped, you got to really get on your brakes hard.
You even
And-
have a solution.
yeah. No. It's
It's brilliant. I
It's
hear a
a-
lot of problems, but I don't hear solutions. So
Yeah.
you got that too. Thank you for that.
yeah, but also, like, I think there should be no left turns all the way down Chapman. So like, and I know it's a problem if you live in downtown
Right.
Knoxville and you got to get to that side of Colonial Village, then you're gonna have to go down John Sevier Avenue. You're gonna have to go Moody. You're gonna have to
Right.
go some way to get over there. You can't wait to get, or you got to get somewhere. Maybe the red light at Colonial could be redone so you could turn left there as well,
Right.
where the bank used to be. This coffee shop. I don't know, but that I every time that I have friends coming to visit me, I tell them, man, when you're on Chapman Highway, when you get to Kroger, you keep your head on the swivel because there's crashes everywhere. So
Right.
anyway,
That's an important issue that's resonating because when I hear something several times, you're the only one who's got solutions. So I had to shake your hand for that. Mine a little sweaty, but God bless you. I never know. But how about that? A flashing and maybe a center lane, widen the road. I don't know if that you think that would be.
I don't. A center lane would help, but if I was thinking about the whole big problem of traffic and traffic calming, a center lane is a safety issue. It's going to provide safety so you don't have head-on collisions.
Right.
And when people are coming down Chapman Highway or going up Chapman Highway over the ridge where Redbud is, when they're stopped and you only have a limited sight distance, that's when people get hit in the rear end
Right.
all the time. So a
Yeah.
center lane would help, but I think it'd be just as easy is to not make left turns.
Right.
There's a
That's
concrete
yeah.
barrier, and you can only turn right.
You know, I do that anyway. If
Oh,
I
yeah, me.
if I go down to the next thing, turn around and come
Yeah,
back.
me too.
And I agree with you. That
So-
safety is more important than convenience.
Right.
Because you don't
Well,
want to visit
also-
somebody at the hospital or
Also, in the mornings when all the traffic is going in, if it's going to allow that traffic just to keep going. No one's going to be trying to turn left at Stone. No one's going to be trying between Colonial and Stone, and maybe even all the way down to that first red light by the new Casey's. Whatever. Anyway.
dead. Right. We need work
Big-
on Chapman
big-
Highway. Instead of building a statue downtown, put some money into Chapman Highway. So I mean,
Don't get me started on that.
Okay.
Art
You
has
already
no,
got it.
art has a place.
Right.
Art has a place, right?
Right.
I don't know.
you
any-
don't want to be negative though. I understand.
No,
that. And respect
I
that.
don't know if what it feels like. You're talking about that big greenish
Yeah.
turquoise sculpture,
You know, they spent $500,000 of our tax money for that, in
Yeah.
addition to.
but it
grants.
feels like they put it there so a developer wouldn't develop.
Yeah.
That's what it feels like. It feels like there was good. Somebody wanted to put something there, and the city got together and said, "We'll do this." And like I said, I worked as a landscape architect, and a planner, and I've sat on many rezoning projects, and not in Knoxville. I did it when I lived and worked in Philadelphia and Charlotte, North Carolina, and Washington D.C. And so, you know.
So you got knowledge about that kind of
Well,
stuff.
the public input process.
Yeah.
I know developers want to develop, and they have agenda, and they want to make their money and stuff. And the city has a responsibility to be thinking about all the citizens, right? But when they do
Right.
something like that, like, first of all, I don't know what you could ever do beyond the sun sphere to make something more iconic than that.
Yeah,
That's
I
what
like
Knoxville's
that. I like
known for,
that.
right?
Yeah,
And,
I was here when it was built.
yeah. I came in '82. I lived in Middle Tennessee, and I came with the World's Fair. But
Okay, yeah.
But I know that, like, that's just, it's weird to me. I saw it and I was like, huh, I guess we're doing good.
Yeah.
Financially, I guess we're doing good. Because that's usually the way that works. When the arts program go up, it means the city's got money in its coffers.
Right.
So,
Right.
anyway.
I certainly appreciate your input. This is what makes campaigning fun, when you get input. And I would love to see you come down to the city council with your knowledge and talk about what you'd want in this area. And they need to listen to you. It's your government. It belongs to you.
Yeah, you know.
And I want to make sure that stays that way.
People ask me to run for government sometimes.
Oh, you'd be excellent at it.
No, I don't know. I don't tolerate ignorance, and
Right.
I don't tolerate politicians who talk to me thinking that I don't know what they're saying.
Right.
And that's when I was in private practice.
Yeah.
As a planner and
That
an
irritates
architect,
me too.
I would say that's not right. So
Yeah.
here the last time I was in local politics, I was in Charlotte, and I was on the street tree committee.
Mm-hmm.
The mayor of Charlotte, they created a government entity to regulate the way that developers were misinterpreting the ordinances for the way that trees and tree canopies are protected and have to be used. And they would go to court. You know, when they got their certificate of occupancy to occupy a building, the city would come out and say, hey man, we see that you trimmed that tree wrong and you're supposed to protect it. And those 9 trees over there, it shows on the plan, they were supposed to be left, you bulldoze them there. And the developer's like, yeah, this problem, that happened, we had to do this. So then they have to go to court and settle it. And in the end, the city council and the county commissioners all agreed that a street tree committee would be the final arbiter, right? And so, and they didn't want us gouging the developers. Don't make developers that thing. If they got a $90,000 fine, make it $9,000, or ask them if they would like to contribute to other things, right? So I came up with a plan to put billboards up that said, I built the new Red Robin, and this is the way I pruned my trees, and made them do public shaming. And they loved to do it, but they hated to do it at the same time.
I love that idea.
And the mayor.
I love that idea.
At Christmas, we gave the mayor publicly an ornamental tree for his yard, a Japanese maple, beautiful tree.
You
And
give me a
mayor-
lot of ideas.
The mayor said, Mr. Harris, I want to know how you got on the street tree committee. And I said, you appointed me. And he's like, oh. And he goes, do you know that I think you are the Lorax? And I said, thank you. Like, that wasn't a compliment. I said, oh, I know. But thank you very much, right?
Yeah.
And
That's
so
what I say sometimes when people
but
insult
you know,
me for.
that was my last little, and it was a little thing that I did there, trying to help the community be better regarding their trees and stuff. And part of the reason I live in this neighborhood, these giant old trees.
Right.
So-
You got a beautiful area. You can tell there's some landscaping going. If you told me some wonderful stuff.
Yeah, I'll keep you
mind
here
if
all
I?
day.
You mind if I film you? I won't if you don't want to.
No, I don't
won't.
care, whatever.
Okay, yeah. You've told me some. What's your first name?
My name is Albert Harris.
Albert Harris. Okay, yeah. He's come up with some brilliant ideas. I'm not just saying that. I talk to people every day,
Right.
and very few come up with solutions. They have problems, but you got a lot of solutions. And people like you, obviously, are people that need to come to the city council and speak out. And if I get on with the city council, you're one of the individuals. I'll come here, knock on your door, and say, "Hey, can you speak at 5:30 tonight? You know,
Sure.
we'd like to hear what you got to say about your neighborhood, because if I get elected, I'm your servant. You tell me what to do, and I say yes, sir, to you.
Right.
Which they got it flipped around a little bit, you know.
Sometimes I do.
But
Sometimes I do.
is this a dogwood trail? Your yard is
Yeah, I'm on the
immaculate.
dogwood. I'm on the dogwood trail.
Well,
yeah.
you can tell.
Well, you also don't know, when I bought this house, it was nothing like it looks now. I've spent the last 10 years
Yeah.
making this my own.
And I like the little pig out there. That's
Thanks.
that's it all. That's it all. So, yeah.
The pig moves. That my neighbors are allowed to pick it up and move it if they
Oh,
want
okay.
to, because it's not bolted down or nothing. And people will come by and say, "Dude, does that pig move?" And I'm like, "Yep."
That's pretty cool.
yeah. Anyway.
It scared me to death that moved on his own. But I will let you. Super nice to meet you. Early
Likewise.
voting is August 6th at Meridian Baptist Church.
Yeah, right up here.
They got a lot more money than me, but I'm trying to work harder than they are. But friends calling friends is how I can beat their big money. And they're gonna,
Dude, if you're out walking in this heat canvassing, you're a heck of a dude, man. You are a heck of a dude. I can't even where's your car?
it's down there at the duck pond. And I walk down here. I knock on about 50 doors a day, and I want to up it closer to the election.
Wow.
So I'm trying to win. I'll outwork them. They might outspend me, but I'll outwork them. And when I'm on the city council, if I'm fortunate enough to be your servant, then I'll outwork them there too. So
Good.
we'll review stuff and make sure stuff's done right.
If I can help you, let me know.
Call your friends in the early vote, and we'll see what we can do. They'll spend a lot of money, and we will. They'll wonder how we got elected. It's friends calling friends. Hopefully they're watching
Are
this.
you
I don't know.
sure you don't want to come in and get a
I'm good. I got my Coke here. I'll leave you alone. You're a very wonderful man, one of the smartest people. And we'll conclude this. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
But you're wow. That's some good. So remember, in closing, God loves you and I do too.